in general, I think the rhetoric of like embracing a lot of like typical like GOP, like, you know, libertarian economic policies has a lot of unintended consequences. And I think that if Trump wanted to buck the trend, then you could seriously consider like, okay, you know, like our constituents have certain needs and they've been screwed over for many decades by mostly blue northern cities who have basically offshored their future. And there should be something done about that. And I think that, you know, Doge going in there and just slashing and burning everything is not the right approach, you know, and that's what you know, so you could say like I'm a third positionist, or maybe I am, but like
you've said yourself that you are.
I'm not like totally a third positionist, but I think that I'm more amenable to the argument of having a restructuring of the economy rather than the sort of like Friedrich Hayek laissez-faire. If we cut off their benefits, they're going to do better.
As determined by using logistical regression, data analysis showed the correlation between voting and receiving benefits was not that significant. Let's see here. The Pew Research Center shows us that 1 in 5% of Americans have participated in the food stamp program known as supplemental nutrition assistance. About a quarter, 26%, lives in a household with current or former food stamp recipients. Of these, 1 in 5, 22% of Democrats say that they've received food stamps, and compared to 10% of Republicans, about 17% of independents say they have received food stamps. According to the surveys from the Pew Research Center, about 3 in 10 Democrats, 31%, nearly half as many Republicans, 17, say they or someone in their household has benefited from a SNAP food program. I'm just reading through. I'm reading some stuff out loud. That's all. Go on, Gio.
No, but another thing too is that do you want to cause the social chaos that would come from getting rid of SNAP?
I'm not saying you cut SNAP, Gio. Don't put fucking words in my mouth.
I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm just saying.
I didn't say that you would cut SNAP. And also, like,
I'm not saying
if you wanted to cause real social damage to any foreign actor right now, please hack Chase Bank, who deals out EBT recipients at the first of the month every time we have this conversation. You would cause unknown rioting on a racial level not seen since the Watts riots. Please do so, but they haven't done that yet. Neither will this administration, because they don't want to deal with a giant fucking race problem on their hands either.
But it's like what we were talking about with the resources in America. Like, for example, I don't agree with Elon Musk going after national forests, like old growth forests. I think that's, call me like a hippie or whatever, or Ted K pilled or whatever. But I think that, you know what I mean? Like there should be a better allocation of resources, obviously. But it's just like the sort of like disruptive behavior of like, we're going to do what every Republican dreamed of, which is to cut off all these programs. It's like, there's a lot of programs that need to be cut off. I think getting rid of USAID was incredible. I think that's an incredible step in the right direction. Now, does that mean that there's a lot of NGOs that are going to do it for free? Like, for example, in a lot of these
or they'll just do it with private money.
Yeah, like with George Soros' private money, of course, right? But I think in terms of U.S. government cutting these people off and then people belly aching about, oh, well, in Africa, people are going to starve. It's like, well, people in America are, about the Western world have a lot of negative, they're in a precarious state. So, you know what I mean? Like, but when it comes to, I think, like a lot of the economic populism that is fostered by the Republican Party, even before Trump, I think that there should be more of a paternalistic, technocratic approach than just doing the whole, like, typical thing that conservatives do, which is
we shouldn't sell out federal land. We should be far more concerned about what we're cutting. However, instead, what we're doing is the same thing Bill Clinton announced in April of 1990. Actually, no, it was March of 1993, about trying to cut and make things more quote unquote efficient. The cycle repeats itself. We live in Newt Gingrich's and Bill Clinton's wet dream.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't mean to offend you, Prude. I'm not talking about
you didn't.
No, I'm just, I don't know, man. It's just like, maybe call me like, maybe I am a third positionist or whatever, but like, I don't know. I think that I'm basing my judgment off of an older notion of what a truly right wing is. And I think that there should be a degree of paternalism when it comes to a population, when it comes to a citizenry. You know what I mean? And I think that a lot of these demographic problems, unfortunately, are not going to get solved overnight.
No, and unfortunately, I have to
America,
deal with them. And
yeah.
and if I have to live in a reality of benefit friends hurt my enemies, then I know who is disproportionately going to be affected by these things.
Right, but well, even like in these inner cities, Prude, I mean,
that is the cruel, ugly calculus I'm going to operate under.
Right. No, but I'm saying that there should be a better way in terms of even, like when you talk specifically about African Americans, like getting them even invested in the system. I think that there should have been a way to deal with that isn't like either cartoonishly evil, but also capitulating to GRC type of thinking. You know what I mean? Like I think there's a lot of criminality that you could root out. There's a lot of things you could do with getting like Black people in America invested in sort of like an ideology that they were going to before, with being more or less autonomous, having their own communities, stuff that even like Malcolm X was talking about. I think that there is a way to do this. I think to foster a form of like identity among them that isn't resentful of white people, I think could actually happen. And because I think as much as like a lot of people want to say, unfortunately, the way that America has, in terms of American history, it is a problem that you're going to deal with. You know what I mean? When it comes to other migrants that are benefiting off the system, that's very easy. Just get, remigration now. That's a different issue. But, America does have this demographic issue. And I think that there could be a way of fostering more of a, I'm not talking about like George Bush compassionate conservatism. That was a total farce. That was a lie. You know what I mean? I think an actual form of compassionate paternalism by an actual authoritarian right-wing government could actually happen.
An actual authoritarian right-wing government that actually cared about it would arrest criminals, not coddle their communities when they say he was such a good boy, he didn't do nothing, and actually execute criminals.
Right, exactly.
Let me know when we get there, and I'll get on board with this compassionate, belief.
Well, but that's what I mean. I'm just like saying out loud. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just saying that.
No, I know.
There is a way that you could turn these people into productive citizens. There could be a way. You know what I mean? I think that it would require massive restructurings of the American economy as well. But I mean, let's face it, it's never going to happen.